Welcome to the Art Project. If you're new here, please subscribe. If you enjoy this video at all, please give me a thumbs up. Sure will help. So this project is going to be based on Charles Demuth and Precisionism. But first of all, I want you to learn how to take care of some stuff. When you're done with your paint, please pour it out in the sink, rinse the bucket out, and use the water to wash the paint down the sink. As you can see, some of the paint has not been rinsed down the sink and has stained it, and that's not good. Then put your bucket face down, upside down, then wash your brushes out. Roll them around in the palm of your hand while running water over them until they become clear. Then use your fingers to straighten the bristles out and then put them bristle up in the paintbrush holder. We're going to use magazines as palettes, and all you have to do when you're done is carefully pull off the page and throw it in the trash can. So for this project, the first thing I want to do is put a base coat. I want to tone the paper, and I'm going to use a cool color to do this. I mixed up some blue and black and a little bit of green to get a unique color, and then let it dry overnight for 24 hours. Once it was done and dry, I put 6 or 7 lines starting at a central point, and you will see these. I'll highlight them for you here in just a moment, and you can see the lines that I've made. 7 lines radiating out from one spot that I chose. Then I put 3 rectangles. You can put 3 or 4 or 5, but I'm going to put a few rectangles here and there, just kind of randomly. I did make one go off on the left, one go off on the bottom right, and one kind of over the central point that I chose. Then I took a 3, and I've actually got several stencils that I used that I'm not going to show here, but I traced them all over the paper in different places. This one this is my main emphasis, and I put it in the middle, and then you can see there where I made outlines around it. Here's my palette. I'm mainly going to be using cool colors to start with, to do everything around the rectangles in cool colors, so I really didn't need the warm colors, or at least not much. Then I have 2 flat sable brushes, and I actually went back and got a 3rd small bristle flat sable brush. Then, using my tape, I started taping off the outside edges of everything. I masked off what I did not want to get any paint on, and I cut the tape to fit. Take your thumbnail, every time you do this, take your thumbnail and press down real hard on the edge that's going to be getting the paint, because you don't want the paint to go up underneath the tape at all. That's going to be one of the biggest concerns. Wherever you don't use tape, you've got to be very careful and paint slowly and carefully and try and stay inside the lines where necessary. Then, as you're working away from the lines, you can become a little bit more aggressive. And in order to blend multiple colors together without washing my brush out, I'm just going to go and grab some blue and start working that into the black that I already painted. You have to do this while the black is still wet, or while the original color, the first color, is still wet. I grab a little bit more blue and keep working it in. Take your time, learn how to blend, and do it properly. Then you'll take the tape off. This whole project is just a repeat of everything I just showed you. Tape it off, paint it in, paint carefully, pull the tape off, put more tape down. Notice I'm also setting aside the tape and reusing it. Again, be very careful as you're painting next to lines. Try not to go outside the lines, and then fill it in. Pull the tape off and repeat. Careful next to the lines. Always blend at least 2 colors together. Sometimes I will pre-mix the colors over on my palette, and other times I will mix them on the painting itself. Here I'm putting down some black, and then in just a moment I'm going to get some blue and mix that into it. That way I can blend it from black to blue. Alright, I've gotten most of the cool colors painted in, and now I'm going to start on the warm colors. Remember, cool colors are anything that is predominantly blue, and warm colors are any of the colors that are predominantly yellow or red. In order to make the yellow and the red show up nice and bright and untainted by the blue, I will paint the blue out where I want it, or where I want the yellows and the reds and the oranges to be. And you can see it looks real good once you paint that in on top of the white. Again, I'm painting it white first, and while that dries, I'm going to go over and I'm going to work on another little section. And I did this when I was doing the blue as well. While you're waiting on one part to dry, please start working on another one. Don't sit there and watch the paint dry. Work on a whole nother space. If I wanted it to be green, sometimes I would paint with the yellow right over the blue and let the blue show through the yellow a little bit to get a green. Now, here I am painting the blue out with some white. And then I'm going to paint over that with the colors that I want. And again, I'm working in a different location while the other part dries. Here's where I got a real small flat sable brush to paint in some of the finer details. I leave like a little, as I'm painting this out white, I leave a little bit of line in between the two spots of white. That way I don't forget where I'm coloring in. And then when I do paint over it with the new color, I try to paint over that line. I realized I had a little 3 over here on the side that I forgot to paint in, so I had to go back with cool color for it. Peel the tape off and repeat over and over and over again. So if this is making any sense to you whatsoever, please give me a thumbs up. If you need to, you can stop it, you can rewind it, you can even change the speed of the video in the settings in the bottom right hand corner, and you can make this go slower if you need to, if I'm going too fast, or you can even speed it up so it's not so long of a video. Leave me a comment down below. If you are doing this project, let me know what number you're going to be using. There's the finished product. Before I was finished with it, I took a little video up close of the texture. Absolutely love the texture of acrylic paint. You can see a lot of streaks. You can see the edges. You can see where the tape was. The blending. You can see some of the imperfections. It's absolutely fantastic. This assignment was based on Precisionism, and to be honest with you, I'm not real sure what the rules behind Precisionism are. I looked at Charles Demuth's work and some of the other Precisionismists, is that a word? And based it off of that. But here we go. Hope you enjoy it. Now it's your turn. Go make some art.